Hello and welcome to my channel Green Lion Goddess Tarot. This is your daily reading for February the 7th. So how are you going with the Leo full moon? How has it been affecting you? It's kind of interesting because it's got a lot of Uranus energy, very strong Uranus energy. It's making a square to Uranus. And I've kind of been experiencing it in that with the Uranus energy, we have to trust that the universe has our greatest interests at heart. It has a bigger plan that we may not be aware of. So it's bringing us forth change or showing us what needs to change or giving opportunities that can bring change in some way, shape or form. And it's like I'm seeing this has happened to me. These opportunities are in front of me and I'm like, I know I should be saying yes to that because I know that's what the universe has got, this kind of plan that says this is a good opportunity, but my usual patterning is like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to change, happy in my little comfort zone. So, and nonetheless, I am kind of saying yes to it. So we've got the Nine of Wands. I'm like, I'm just going to, we've got to trust the universe in a way. So we've got the Nine of Wands coming in. So Nine of Wands. And it's a sense that not really entirely knowing where these changes are leading you or what the bigger picture is. But there's a sense of being open to the bigger picture forming or a greater sense of consciousness that can come through with the Sun in Aquarius as well. We've got the Queen of Wands. This is the Leo energy. This is the Seven of Swords. Here comes the Aquarius. Okay, so the Seven of Wands. This is like, because we've got the nines, the sevens, the Queen. It's like, okay, we're coming back down into the human realm now. The Queen of Swords, two queens coming through, and the Knight of Swords. Okay, so it's all fire and air, quite literally. So there's a lot happening. It's not possibly not feeling particularly grounded at this moment in time, or it may be that you're not necessarily taking emotions into account, but it's all ideas with the air, what you're thinking. And the fire is kind of like doing or what it is that you want to do, feeling motivated, your actions. So it's kind of interesting. I kind of just get this sense of, how am I going to make this work? I feel like the two queens are actually talking to each other. The Queen of Wands, her head is turned towards the Queen of Swords, and it's like the Queen of Swords is getting the message. It's interesting because there's all this synergy here. It's interesting. The Queen of Wands, the Queen of Fire is next to the Seven of Air. The Queen of Swords, which is the Queen of Air, is next to the Seven of Fire. And it's like there's this meeting. There's this sense of, I'll send my Seven of Fire and you can see what you do with it. And I'll send my Seven of Swords and you see what you do with it. And it's kind of like they're talking to each other and working together. So this fire and air combination, if this is making any sense. Like the Nine of Wands is kind of like, that's the wounded warrior. It's like, oh, this is just taking up a lot of my time. It's a challenge. It's a challenge, but it's meeting the challenges, but a little bit of like suspicion or soul fatigue around the whole thing. It's kind of like when you're doing something and you are doing it because you believe there's a higher purpose to it, but there's a smaller part of you going, why am I doing this again? Why have I agreed to this? Or why is the universe giving me this message? So the two sevens represent an evaluation process that's going on here. And the two queens are our divine feminine, what's going on inside our heads, what's going on inside our passions, our creativity, what we're attracting, what we're wanting to bring in the fire. So interesting. And then we've got that Knight of Swords, which is kind of this accelerated energy. The Knight of Swords is fast moving energy. So it may feel like things are happening really, like ready or not, this is happening kind of thing. Might feel like time has sped up a little bit with the Knight of Swords. It's the fastest moving it's the fastest moving card in the deck. So when Knight of Swords comes in, the pace is about to get picked up, or you have to respond quickly to things. You have to kind of go for opportunities when they come your way, or you have to kind of mentally pivot in some way, shape or form. So it's like, yes, there's possibly a lot going on inside your mind at this moment with the Knight of Swords being there. But yeah, might have this sense of, okay, I like the two queens together because it does feel like they're like I said, they're helping each other or working together. And so it's like, okay, this has all been thrown at us and we need to kind of work out how we're working with this, evaluate what are we going to do. So the Seven of Swords right in the center, that's Mercury in Aquarius. That's the Seven of Swords. That's plans, reevaluating plans, things that are going on inside your mind that you might not necessarily be ready to share or tell anybody yet. It's like, I've just got to work out what's going on for me at this moment, what this plan means, what's going on. Just the Seven of Swords wants to get out of a fairly restricted space into freedom. And so it's kind of like making a bit of a plan. But it can also feel sometimes with the Seven of Swords like the character's sneaking away. So it might feel a little bit like this is all happening so fast. Barely had time to pack. They're just holding the other two swords have been left behind, and there's 5 swords in this character's hand and just going, I'm getting out of here. So it might feel like this is an opportunity that came that you were not quite ready for in some way, shape or form. You haven't packed your bags for it yet, but at the same time, you need to respond to it in some way, shape or form. And so yeah, this Seven of Swords right in the center, it's potentially ideas. Mercury is your mind, your ideas, how you're communicating things, plans, contracts. And so this is something for the future. This is potentially thinking outside of the box and going, okay, what am I seeing here and where can I see this going, this potential change that's coming in? And then we've got the Seven of Wands, which may be that you're feeling a little bit like this. Seven of Wands is defending a space as well. Like you've got yourself into a better position, feeling a bit stronger about where it is that you might be going. But it's also still like maybe I just need to still work the plan or understand what the plan is or kind of evaluate it inside my head, get my head straight first. So it may be you don't, like I said, you don't want to talk to somebody about it, or you're being a bit defensive about it, or you need your space in some way, shape or form. So it's just like, I need to sort this out. I need to work this out. What does this mean? What does it look like? And what do I want to do? What am I agreeing to here? And then it all lands in the Queen of Swords, who goes, okay, gotcha. I understand it now. It's clear. I've had time to evaluate. My head is above the clouds of fear and doubt. I've got this clarity that's coming in, this crystal clear energy, which feels very high vibrational. And then the Queen of Swords is saying yes to something. Like this could be something very exciting that's coming through. So she's saying yes, or giving something the green light, or just very clearly communicating, this is what I want to do. This is my plan. These are my ideas, through this process of the Seven of Swords and the Seven of Wands. The Queen of Wands is really also, being a Leo energy, it is probably the things that got illuminated and shown to you in that full moon that came through as well, in that it was very much, this is about what you've attracted towards you. It's kind of like being a bit of a magnet. And there are things coming towards you at this moment in time that there's a part of you, your soul's expression of who you are, that is attracting this. And so that's why it's almost like, well, I can't ignore what's coming towards me at this moment in time, even though potentially my patterns may be to not want to go down that path initially. Like it all seems like it's all rather fast. So the Queen of Swords says yes. And then the Knight of Swords goes charging off. I've got my answer. I've got my communication. I'm putting something into action here. So potentially the yes to the universe, or the yes that comes out, or the clear communication that comes out with the Queen of Swords, means things can actually start moving really quickly. So it's got, when I'm tuning into it, it has got this very high vibrational energy to it, where clarity, if you get really clear about what it is that you want and how you're communicating that, whether it's internally or whether it's externally, but it has to have this internal process first, the divine feminine, before externally things can happen. But it's like, because it's this very clear, crystal clear kind of frequency that's happening at this moment in time, it becomes easier for you to have clarity about the future direction that's happening with this, that's coming through with this Leo full moon energy. So, but also it's this sense of, if you're clear inside your mind and you gain that clarity, and then it kind of is, it's at the same frequency as this very high frequency that's around at this moment, that is like crystalline and very clear. So it's sort of like, okay, we're all at the same frequency, boom. It's like this quantum energy of, like I said, quantum, there's no time, like it's past, present, future, it all happens at once. So that's why it could all happen quite quickly. So there's this kind of like energy alignment that just, it's interesting. So there's an opportunity here to really move forward with something. And this, I feel like, is perhaps with the full moon, it was a sense of something got illuminated to you in a couple of different areas. Like they're showing me subconscious, but they're also showing me on a higher level. But this is kind of like, yeah, okay, I've got the message. Now I'm kind of know what's being asked to change or have a sense of what's opening up for that and potentially feeling the resistance for it. But yeah, this energy down here is like, okay, now I need to kind of process this in my human realm, work out what I'm going to do and then move forward. So yeah, there's this potentially a great opportunity to give something the green light, to say yes, to move forward and to get this kind of amazing mental clarity which I feel like gives you a sense of feeling more in control of the process, even though with Uranus around in this sense that there's a greater plan for the unit that the universe has for you, it might feel a little bit like you're out of control. This gives you the opportunity to feel a little bit more in control, even though that you're aware that that's not, there's other the forces outside of you at play that you ultimately don't control. If that makes any sense. So yeah, that is the reading for, look at all the air and fire. So the thing with these energies as well is a lot of air and fire is like energy whirling around up here, like, ooh, this is what I want to do, this is what I'm thinking about, blah, 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 blah. And at some point it's going to have to ground down. So we're not seeing the earth here at this moment in time. It may be just to let the ideas flow out around there in the ether. It's not connected to any great emotional depths or there's no water or earth here, which is a lot more of a grounded energy, but that will come at this moment. It's just meant to be all air and fire at some point, which can feel a little bit like, there's ideas, there's things up in the air, perhaps even that could be what it feels like until this sense of clarity comes through. So that is the reading for February the 7th, and look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Oh, please like, subscribe, share, leave a comment, all the usual. And also just reminding you that I've got my February love reading discounts at the moment, 14% off selected love readings and other, like just some general readings as well. The coupon code wasn't working, so I've just applied the discount anyway. It's just there. The link is in the description box below if you'd like to take advantage of that. It's on until 14th of February, Australian time. So, yeah, take care and look forward to seeing you tomorrow.